my parents came from Germany in 1937. They didn't meet, though, until after the Second World War. They met in 1948, got married in 1949, and I came around in 1950.
So my mother's parents were the first ones to come to the United States, and they came in the 1920s. My grandfather escaped the Tsar on a piece of floating ice with his cousin on his back and settled in the United States from Ukraine, leaving his family behind for many years. My father's mother's family came from Poland in the late 1880s. My father's grandfather ran what they call the Jew store in Mankato, Michigan. He owned the general store in this very small town. The population was 50 people, and 12 of them was my grandfather's family because he was one of 10 kids. My grandfather actually started the Reformed congregation in Elizabeth, New Jersey, and we were very much a part of that congregation and in shaping and making it grow. But after I left high school and went to college, I went to Hofstra University, where I had a double major in elementary education and Judaica. And being in that environment and being surrounded by intellectuals in the Jewish world also helped shape who I was and who I was going to become. Then we got married and moved to Virginia, and I got involved with United Synagogue Youth. And again, the next thing that involved and influenced who I was. And then I taught at Hebrew Academy, which again had another influence. So you take that and you put it all together, and you have a marriage, and you have friends, and you have a community, and those are the things that really made us who I feel like we have become. Thinking about philanthropy and tzedakah is kind of interesting because we were not a family that had a lot, so we couldn't give a lot of money. But what my parents and my grandparents instilled in us was if you didn't have a lot of money, one thing you did have was time. And so with my grandfather starting this congregation that they belonged to, and with my father being in fraternal organizations and my mother being in support roles with the sisterhood or whatever else, we were a family of doers, not necessarily a family of givers.
Probably leading by example. I think that's what we've done in my opinion.
And I think also with our kids, we gave them the gift of going to Hebrew Academy, and so they learned tzedakah was part of their core schooling values. And their core values and the things that they did as they were growing up. And I think that they, as adults, both our boys, still understand the importance of tzedakah. We kind of have a funny thing that we do tzedakah-wise in this house that my sons probably didn't even realize as they were growing up. But the rule is if you found change in the pockets when you do the laundry, the change goes in the tzedakah can. So it's a way to make doing the laundry, even doing the laundry, a Jewish thing. In becoming part of this Life and Legacy program, we really looked at where we wanted to make a difference. And choosing Hebrew Academy of Tidewater's, the first agency, was really very easy because our boys really had the privilege of a wonderful education, both Jewish and general. And we really want to make sure that school exists for the future so that other children have that same opportunity to have that incredible gift of a worthwhile, wonderful Jewish and general education. Leaving money to KBH, it's our life. It is the fabric of who we are on a weekly basis. I
think it's important, especially in smaller communities like this, to have strong institutions and certainly to have Jewish education. As Alene said, they did a great job educating our kids. We were really involved in the school, and I think our children and ourselves are better for it. And once again, I think it's important that we're certainly not a major Jewish population area like New York, Chicago, or LA. So it's important to have these institutions to be able to attract other people into our community. As far as the Kempsville Conservative Synagogue, it's a small synagogue, and I think there's a place in the world for small synagogues. And I mean, when I say small, we're maybe like 50 or 60 families. So I think it's really important. Some people just feel overwhelmed in a larger synagogue, whereas in a small synagogue, people get to know each other a little bit better, kind of more like a family.
And the third one we did was the foundation, just because we want special projects and we want things that are important of the time to be able to be funded. And so it was a general naming of the foundation for the future.
Just that, I was part of the fabric of the community, and in my, small way, contributed something, whether it was, through volunteer efforts, charitable contributions, and that I had a good name.
I would like to be remembered as somebody who made a difference. That's it in a nutshell, as somebody who made an impact on this world, whether it was encouraging a family to be more observant, whether it's being a guiding light at the synagogue, whatever it is. I just want to be remembered that I had a purpose here on this earth. Judaism is changing, commitment is changing. We are going to have a lot of work to do for the future, and we just want to make sure that even in some small way that we can make sure that there's a community here to plan for and meet the needs of not only our present community, but the community in the years to come.